The Science of Getting Rich.
Hello, and welcome to another chapter of the course, The Science of Getting Rich. In this chapter, the author will talk about the effectiveness of action. In the previous chapter, you were taught how to act in a certain way. You were taught how we should act according to the laws of the universe. However, this chapter is to reiterate what these actions will look like. You must know exactly how you should act from today on, knowing that any and every action you take will bring a consequence if your actions are good and effective. If your actions are effective, your results will be effective. But if your actions are weak and without purpose, you will see no results at all. Quite the contrary, many times you will feel like you are moving backward. So, don't be mistaken, because every action, every thought of yours, consequently, is like a game of Lego. You see all those pieces, and often you don't believe that those tiny pieces can form anything. However, when you start to assemble the Lego set efficiently, over time, those small structures begin to take the form you were hoping for. But on the other hand, when you assemble it carelessly, when you start putting the Lego together any which way, at first the pieces might seem to fit. But over time, you start to realize that things are not fitting together, and in the end, you realize you have to take it all apart and start over. This brings great frustration, and even the desire to give up. This is just an illustration, but it shows how every small action we take either leads us in the direction of what we want, or leaves us worn out and frustrated. So, to act with effectiveness means that every small action we take must be done in the best way possible. It doesn't matter how simple your job is, or how simple your education is. None of that matters. What matters for things to go right in your life is to make every small action your best action. This is what the author explains when he talks about the effectiveness of action. If you follow the exact steps, there is no way you won't understand how the science of getting rich works. So, acting efficiently means you know exactly what you are doing and why you are doing it, and you do every single thing you do in the best possible way. And in this course, we are talking about wealth, because that should be your objective in this course. We are talking about having money, and money will always be a consequence in your life. For the money to arrive in your bank account, you know it won't be with a wave of a magic wand. You will have to think and act in a certain way. And this certain way is thinking and acting by focusing on the cause. You will only achieve your objectives by taking efficient action. And what is an efficient action? An efficient action is always doing whatever you do in the best way possible. You should do everything you do with perfection. From today on, you will pay attention to every little thing you do, because in every one of your actions, there is a consequence. Strive for each of your actions to become a productive consequence that leads you toward your goals. As was mentioned in the Lego assembly example, you should no longer act carelessly, moved only by impulse or automatically. You should not do anything without a purpose. You shouldn't do something just for the sake of doing it, as that would be wasting energy. Even if you are still an employee, never again think that you only do what you are paid to do. You have to have the following thought in mind. I am doing this work so that it will lead me toward what I want. And for that, as has been said before, you will hold in your mind all day the mental image of what you want. You will no longer fill your mind with thoughts of crisis or thoughts of poverty, as these things will not help you at all. Do not let these thoughts occupy space in your life. You will only have in your mind things concerning your desires, the image of the house you want, the image of the brand new car you will have, the image of the trip with your family. All of this is what you must keep in mind. It doesn't matter what your life is like today. It doesn't matter what you are doing today. Whatever you do, you will do your best. You will do what needs to be done today. If you are a salesperson, you must be the best salesperson. If you are a clerk, you must be the best clerk. You must do this because this is exactly what will make you grow and expand right where you are. And by being greater in thought and better in action, you will grow in life. And consequently, what you do will become greater than the task you perform. When your competence becomes greater and demands more than what you are doing today, you will start to get promoted within the company, or someone will notice you. When you start doing things in the best possible way, you will be acting with effectiveness, and this will expand your own life. At the beginning of the chapter, the author speaks the following truth, and you should make this sentence a truth in your life. The author says that the world advances by the action of men who are greater than the places they fill. If no man overfills the place he occupies, the world begins to regress. In other words, you always have to be bigger than the job, work, or place you occupy. If this is not happening, you are regressing. Inevitably, when someone comes along who can fill that space, they will take your place. This is a universal truth, as there are no empty spaces in the universe. Everyone must occupy their space, and if you want to expand, you must be bigger than the space you occupy. When you are the best and you do a little more than what is required, you will occupy a larger place. You will grow, you will progress in life. However, everything has its own time. There is no point in trying to rush things. You should not worry about doing tomorrow's work today, as the author has already mentioned, or worry about doing a week's work in one day. That's not what the author is talking about when he speaks of evolving, of progressing. He is teaching that you should always do more than what is required, meaning, do a little better than what people believe would be the right way for you to do it. But not that you should do everything hastily all at once so that other people notice. That's not it. Always do something more. Always walk the extra mile. Be greater than the activity they give you. Be greater than the position you occupy. This is the only way that exists for you to grow. Always keep in mind that everything you are doing is a cause, and the consequence of everything you are doing will be the creation of wealth. Once again, as was cited in the Lego example, every small action you execute is a negotiation. Every small act, every little word you say, every single thing you do will generate consequences in your life. Like that soccer player who, after practice, continues training to perfect his technique, or the musician who, even after the concert, continues practicing to achieve greater excellence. So, should be your daily acts. So with every action we take, every step we take, we conquer what we want, all starting from small actions that become habits, and these habits will transform us in the medium and long term. Now, always do everything with the awareness that everything you do generates a consequence, and your acts are the cause that will bring wealth to you. When you are going to negotiate with someone, always keep in mind that that negotiation is bringing you money. So make that negotiation the best possible. How do you make a negotiation the best possible? By making the negotiation the best possible for the other person. Make them perceive that the value they are investing in this negotiation is much less than the use value they are receiving. So, the effective action is that action you do in the best way possible. It's the action you do consciously, because you know that it is a cause, and that each step is a cause for a consequence, and the consequence is getting rich. It's progressing in life. It's earning more money. But do everything in its own time. Don't try to be what you are not yet. Evolve. Be a better person than you were yesterday. You don't have to do things trying to push the universe or rush the creation of what you desire. Don't keep looking around to see if things are already happening. That is not your job. That is the job of the formless substance. Your job is to focus on the cause and make every action a better action, and have faith and absolute certainty that you are doing the right thing. You are creating your wealth. Don't keep questioning yourself. Don't keep thinking about when everything will happen. Everything is happening one step at a time, and with this, you are getting closer to the reality you dream of. When you least expect it, you will arrive where you aim. You will achieve your objectives if you act effectively. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next chapter.